on Don't Be Tardy, we're taking a trip to LA. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, 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 hey! We finally have a full house. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ and Don't Be Tardy. I'm your host, Elayna. You can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
Hey,
yes,
they bumped it. Okay.
Where can they find you, Suzette?
Hey guys, Suzette here. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Suzette Babb, and I am Candace.
Hey, it's Candace Rice, aka Pimp Fried Rice. You can find me on Instagram at _Pimp Fried Rice and on Facebook at Candace Rice.
I never realized how much I love this song.
I know, it's like really setting the mood. Like it makes me just want to go to Hollywood and like.
And we actually got a taste of that today on the episode Hollywood or Bust. They took their trip to Hollywood,
LA.
And that's home for us, so it was nice to at least see familiar monuments and things like that. And I think we finally got our wish. All season, we've been predicting that Brielle was going to get back to work and, you know, somehow make her trip to LA, and it's finally here. How do you guys feel about that?
This is like the episode I've been waiting for. It was so much fun covering them going to Hollywood. We haven't seen it yet, but she's going to go to Access Hollywood. And then KJ, you know, getting to audition, the Cashmere Mist. Like, this is like so much fun. And I have to say, like, she's so blessed, like, to have the connections and to, you know, I mean, we all are transplants, correct?
Right.
So, you know, we didn't get to be like in a Escalade, you know, like being in a hotel, but it was really fun.
I love kind of how they're showcasing the culture out here and how it's so different from the South where they come from. And so Brielle has this whole thing where she's excited about Los Angeles. She's like, oh, I'm fit to be there. But I'm just like, Brielle, when you get here, it's kind of like, you know, when you see her talk about LA and how fabulous it is and the shopping and everything, and then
yeah, but you gotta work, girl. Exactly.
I know, and I love how they show her at In-N-Out eating that burger. That's a part of the culture.
I think her reaction though was almost like most of us, at least for me. Before I moved out to LA, I was just like, oh, you know, we all have this image of what Los Angeles is actually, what Hollywood is supposed to be, or what we think it is. And then when we get out here and we're living the lifestyle, it is still all of those things depending on your connection. So for her, maybe it will be the fun, the shopping, because she lost a 17,000 bracelet we found out on this episode.
Man.
So,
but she didn't lose it, right? KJ threw it on the toilet.
Apparently he threw it away. But she purchased it herself at 18, 19. That's a huge purchase. I can't make a purchase like that.
Oh, no.
I don't think my car is valued at $17,000.
So her LA lifestyle would definitely be different than, you know, the lifestyle that I've experienced at least. So I get it, but I do like how, I like the cuteness of her demeanor when it comes to going on auditions and having a meeting at Access Hollywood and moving out here. She's just like, the quirkiness almost goes away and you kind of see this shyness that takes over her, and that's really refreshing to get from Brielle.
Girl, yeah, LA is intimidating. Like she's coming into it. I mean, she's coming into a world where a lot of people have the same connections that she has. It's just, it's crazy. So I'm actually I'm so looking forward to seeing Brielle out here by herself. Like I really think they should make that a show.
Yeah, and ding, ding. There you go. And she was taking it seriously, like at home listening to Jason Kennedy, and she was, you know, reading everything on the TV. Like I feel like there's a place for her.
Absolutely.
But I think that she's super young, and I think that she's gonna have to do a lot of the grunt work before you can just interview like some A-list movie star, you know.
I did appreciate that she was taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Like we don't really see her take anything serious. So the fact that she was sitting on the couch even trying to practice for the audition or for the meeting, it was like, okay, I can see you going into the world. Now, even listening to her voice coming as a host in the world, I hear her voice more. Like, I wish she was into sports, because the way that she communicates and the way that she enunciates her words.
She just kind of gets it out there.
She has, like, a very sportsy, like, I think she'd be perfect in the sports world.
And
maybe
then
that'll
Kroy, yeah, she would have those contacts already, and there's a lot less competition for women in sports. So Brielle, yeah,
that's a good idea.
That's an avenue. I'm excited just to see where it's gonna go. I was a little bummed though when the episode ended, only because this felt like the introduction to the next episode. And all the juicy stuff is going to come next episode.
I agree.
That's how they always do it.
We just gotta wait. Be
television
patient.
for you.
So what else happened on this episode? KJ is getting an audition next episode.
He is so perfect for TV.
He's
Like
the cutest.
this
He
little
really is the
redhead.
cutest.
I keep forgetting he's 4 years old. I mean, he literally looks and acts like he's 8 years old.
Yeah, he
But
does.
she had said this before about him maybe doing acting, but I feel like he nailed his little, commercial audition. Like I could totally see him like on a sitcom as one of the kids.
Yeah. No, he's just a fire of energy like all kids. I kind of wonder like how he's going to be, because you also have to have kids that are like willing to take direction. And so I don't know. He kind of struggles listening to Kim sometimes. I'm just like, I wonder how he would do on a set. But then you see him actually execute when he said his lines in front of the publicist and everything. You're like, wow, like the kid really has talent.
Yeah.
And then coming from Kroy, seeing Kroy do his performance.
So cute. That was hilarious.
The fact that Kroy even got up there and improvised, I was just like, whoa, I've never seen this kind of energy come from him. Like, I didn't know he had it in him to be quirky and goofy
really
and
funny.
loud. He was like, the body movements, it was refreshing. It definitely was refreshing.
I still think that he'd be like great with doing sports casting himself. The one thing I will say about KJ is, being that we're here in the business and I've worked on set and worked in, sitcoms or, 1 hour TV, when you have one child in a show, it literally takes a village. And so it will be an interesting dynamic if he did ever book anything because, it's like you do become that stage mom. Like you're on set with them sometimes 10 to 14 hours a day. So being that all the kids are trying to kind of do their own thing, it would be an interesting dynamic because they would have to be in LA.
This with KJ coming out to LA, getting ready for his audition, it showed me how much the producers or the editors for the show, how much they edited him out from the previous episodes because he was so hyped this episode. I almost was just like, take a nap, like just go to sleep. Like he was bouncing
so much energy
off the walls, and I don't like we've seen him with his high energy, but I don't think we've seen it in this dosage. And I was just like, whoa.
But remember that he's like in a hotel just with the 2 girls, so he really has that chance to shine and to be like, it's just me, I don't have the 2 little brothers and the chef there and the stylist. Like it was just him to get that attention, which I think he needs.
And then he grew up around cameras. So, I mean, like, some kids are great when they're with their parents, when they're with their acting coaches and things like that, and they get in auditions and they freeze up. So I'm pretty sure he has a nice little advantage.
Kill it.
He speaks very well, by the way. How do you guys feel about children just going into the show business, especially with as many siblings as he has? Do you feel like some of his other younger siblings may want to get in front of the camera as well, or feel a little, why does he have the spotlight, or if they see him on TV, how does that cross?
Well, the family in themselves as an entity and as a group, they have their own show. So I think that when you grow up in a family such as the Biermanns, you're going to have a few of the kids that's going to rebel against that entertainment life. It always happens in those those Hollywood families. You're going to have one, and that it could be Ariana that maybe wants to go to college and be a doctor. You're going to have 1 or 2 that's going to rebel. It typically happens like that. And then you'll have the ones that's going to try to live for that spotlight as long as they can. So I think that you have to see as they get older. Like, they're kind of too young to tell now. But I think that a few of them may kind of repel the entertainment and the lights and everything, and you're gonna have some they're gonna love it. They're gonna be they're gonna be meant for it. So
well, I think they're already in show business, just having a show and having people in and out of the house and having cameras. But like I said before, if you're a child star and you're gonna be on set, let's say that he does get on set, it takes attention away from the other children. Like it would take attention away from Kai or whatnot, because if you're here in LA and shooting a show and Kim had to be there, or any parent, there can be resentment with other children feeling like you weren't there for me. They got, they're prioritized. You're always there with them. And you've seen there's documentaries out there that show what it's like for child stars. Like they're all in a LA apartment complex, and they bring one parent and one kid, and everyone else is back in their, suburbia. So I don't know. I mean, it could be resentment.
So we're talking about show business. We're talking about careers. If KJ gets on set, he'll have to bring a parent. Kim has a very busy life. Kroy, this episode, we saw that he had to fly out to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously, it's always really hard because this has already happened in reality.
Right. Yeah. So we know what's going on now.
But for the show purpose, he flew out to Buffalo for the meeting. If he were to get in show business with his parents' lives, and I'm not even sure what's going to happen or what exactly happened with the Buffalo deal, if he's actually, if he's playing or whatever the case may be, that would be a lot to balance. He would more than likely spend most of his time with the nannies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to be in LA either. I mean, Atlanta is such
very popular.
It's booming right now. Like, so many shows are taping there. So maybe he'll be able to, let's just be in Atlanta and get commercials going that way.
So with their lifestyle, the Biermanns, you would think that they are always out eating fancy steaks and lobsters and shrimp, like whatever fancy food is to you. We didn't get the answer to that today. We just got fancy food. I don't know what fancy food is. However, Chef Tracy has been put up to the challenge to make some kind of fancy dinner for both Kim and Kroy, but Kim and Kroy have different appetites, so they eat different things. And I'm just like, first of all, what is fancy food?
Well, what they're saying is they just don't want fettuccine Alfredo. Like, they probably want a steak that's medium rare with some,
steamed broccoli.
Exactly. Cauliflower puree.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe make some homemade crab cakes, tiramisu.
Yeah.
They want that experience. But
Sushi.
I'm pretty sure that they hired her because they have all those kids. So, making chicken nuggets, making pizza, you have that many mouths to feed. You need to make what's quick and easy.
Deep fried sushi.
Oh, yeah, tempura.
I never had deep fried sushi.
What?
Girl.
I feel like
we live in LA.
I feel like I have the expression on my face that Kim had when Chef Tracy was trying to tell her the different things that she can make. She was just like, no, I don't like tomatoes. I feel like I have that expression as you're calling out all these food types. And I didn't know prior to this episode that Tracy was on Top Chef.
I didn't either.
Oh, I didn't either. Yeah, that's cool.
That's bomb. So I'm just like,
I want to know more.
Yeah, and I want to know. I just want to know, outside of the food that she makes for the kids and stuff, what foods do you really like to make? What is your specialty? What are you bomb at? You know what I mean? So I guess we'll have to see that next episode.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to be in the kitchen when they...
Or we're going to stalk her Instagram to see what
Chef
Bloom makes. Because they said she was a 25 top chefs in Atlanta. So it's where was she before? Was she always a personal chef? Did she have a restaurant?
And she's been cooking for 25 years.
Interesting.
Oh, I bet her food's amazing.
I'm hungry, actually.
We'll take the chicken fettuccine all day long.
I'm sure we'll get more of the cooking next episode, and at least to see what she comes up with.
Yeah, but I feel like they love Southern food, so
I don't know. See, and the reason I bring it up is because I'm a little torn when it comes to Kim and Kroy's eating habits and then the lifestyle they live. You would think that they eat very strict and very healthy and very light. However, they're very quick to let you know, no, we want, I don't want to say the unhealthy food, but almost the fatty food. She eats a lot of cheese. She loves cheese. Most people stay away from cheese.
Yeah.
So we see her with her shake.
And she drinks Starbucks. Starbucks is horrible for you. Yes.
So it's
Starbucks and shakes.
So it's almost like a
oxymoron.
Yeah. Because she has a banging body, and I'm pretty sure we said that more than one time. So it's geez, can you just give me some of whatever you have going on there? Because
she's always said she's a fast metabolism. Remember her mom? Her mom was just a stick. I mean, her mom was so thin.
And speaking of her parent, it wasn't. It's this hard thing to hear her mention her dad this episode. When she found out that Kroy was going to Buffalo because that was her dad's favorite team, it was so sweet. She was like, I know all about Buffalo because that was my dad's favorite team, and it was aw, and then that was it. And it's these little pebbles.
So sad.
Oh, but another thing that I thought was interesting with Kroy being in Buffalo, speaking of, was her dependency on him when it comes to the kids and especially dealing with KJ. I found that to be very interesting only because there's a huge possibility that his career can, you know, he may end up somewhere where he's not in Atlanta and he's not with the family. So I'm just like, wow, like how is Kim going to be able to deal with that? Because, you know, she was really, she'd mentioned more than I think 5 times about how she needed him there, you know, to help with him and with going to the lab and get him under control, and then, you know, helping, getting help with guiding him in the lines and things like that. So I
think because she was a single mom for such a long time, and you're raising 2 girls, and you're trying to, you know, support your family, and give her credits, because to have that and to still be able to get Housewives of Atlanta and all that is pretty amazing. Look what she's come from. But like as a woman, like you get so tired. I mean, she had to carry so much. So now you have this man who is like, I got you. And now, you know, I mean, you just get used to that. And it is hard. Those boys, they listen to him, you know, so it's a lot to balance.
And she confessed that Kroy is her security blanket. So maybe it's not even that she can't handle it. It's probably just that comfort of, I can handle it when you're here because I know that you'll step in, you know? So even her saying that KJ only listens to Kroy, I can understand how that is and why that is. But it's great just to see how close they are.
Yeah.
Because they've been married for about 3 to 4 years now, but it's still 3 to 4 years is a long time, but it's still like
it still is fresh. It's still new. They make it that way. Yeah, for sure.
So I love to see that dynamic at least. Well, we don't have any celebrity and gossip news for you guys, but I think it's safe to move into predictions.
Yes. Hey.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I'm super excited about predictions because we got a little snippet of what next episode is going to be, and it seems like it's going to be popping as far as like the auditions with KJ and Brielle. So my prediction, and I'm not going to cheat, is that someone's gonna book a job. Something is gonna happen where we're like, yay, congratulations, and we're cheering. And I think that it's gonna be really good for the family, and it's gonna either help motivate others, like Ariana and, you know, Cash. He might even want to follow in KJ steps. But I think that next episode we're gonna see someone book a job.
Hey.
Okay, I'll be the opposite then. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I think that, you know, Brielle's young, you know, she's 19, and I think that getting in the hosting world is really, really challenging, and I think that she absolutely would have a place with any of the networks, but I think she's going to have to maybe be a PA. You know, she might have to, again, like I feel like you do have to do that grunt work. Like if you and Life don't choose college, which I didn't go to college either, but I'm saying that you're going to do the hustle and bustle to, you know, take the steps to do whatever you have to do to get to where you want. So I do think I don't know if she'll, you know, I feel like she'd move to LA if she knew for sure she had that job. I think it'll be really hard for her to come out here on her own because I think she's just so used to having, you know, Kim by her side.
But if I touch on my prediction, KJ might be the one to get
yes,
the job.
You're right. Yes.
And that might push Brielle to want to book, you know, to want to work harder.
It gets you hungry. I think the KJ, I could totally see him on a sitcom. But it'll be interesting dynamic because then it's like the family would have to move to LA.
Hey,
which isn't a bad thing.
That'd be cool. That would be a nice little spin.
Yes.
So my predictions, I'm cheating because I'm going based off the little clips at the end. So I'm thinking that Kroy may be getting a little frustrated with Brielle kind of being indecisive about her directions as far as her career. And I really want to see him push her because I think if Brielle had the pressure of like, oh, coming out here and maybe having to do it more so on her own, thinking more independent, I think that's going to change the whole scope of how she thinks about life and her career and just everything that comes with adulthood. So as a young woman, I'm interested in that. I'm thinking Kroy's going to push her.
I was going to say, I moved out to LA when I was just turned 18 from Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
And I had no money. So if you're going to spend $17,000 on a bracelet, this is when, you know, that could have been your move, right? So it's like if she's ready to do it and she really wants to, I'm not saying she would have done it by now, you know what I mean? But she, you know, like we saw Kroy, it's like, well, why haven't you then? Do you know what I mean?
I'm nervous about that, though. I'm nervous about that push. I'm nervous about that fight, only because we know that Kim is very protective over Brielle.
But listen, you come out here, you sign your lease, you're unhappy, you go home in 8 months, and 2 years later you come back. It doesn't have to be the all or nothing, like, I'm going and this is it. You come and, you know, try it out now while you have a Bravo show.
Right.
Yeah.
Go, girl.
This conversation is going to have to be continued next
Okay.
week
Dun,
because
dun,
we
dun.
don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know. We don't know yet. But I am super excited about it. Again, you are tuned in to the Don't Be Tardy after show. You can follow me, Elayna, your host, on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
You can follow me at Suzette Babb, all social media.
And you can chat with me on Instagram at _PimFryRice.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you next week.
Till next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.